and welcome to... Oh, warte, nein, halt, stopp.
Grüezi Philipp.
Hi Kevin.
We told in the last episode that we are going to talk about Australia. The championship is history.
It is now in the books.
How was logistics? How was it to get there? How was the whole process of getting all the material to Australia? I know that Australia is kind of restrictive with the import. Was that a difficulty, or
Yeah.
how did it end up?
Since we've not been flying the first time to Australia, we've managed to arrange a lot of the material that we needed for the competitions already to be shipped over there directly from some companies that have been generous enough to support us, and we had someone in place that was the receiver of all the goods. So most of the things have been waiting there.
Okay.
And the number of additional bags been non-additional bags. So we've been able to bring anything in our bags on top with us. So it was pretty easy this time.
Okay.
Maybe that's the advantage of Brewers Cup and not having barista competitions. Because barista obviously is way more of equipment.
Yeah. So you arrived a few days before the championship to do some trainings to collect all the stuff you need. What does the preparation in Australia look like before the championship?
Yeah, we've been arriving 3 days before the official start. Which is very short, but in the same thing in Brewers, you can arrive obviously a bit later because it's less of running around for stuff. 3 days ahead, so we had time to get used to the Australian time, which jet lag is an issue obviously if you fly to Australia. That was pretty much a lot this time.
Yeah.
But we managed to push through the jet lag. Then we collected all the equipment, which was quite easy. Then we started brewing, obviously, because you fly somewhere, so you want to see how the coffee survived. Because flying with coffee is always an issue, but you always need to ask yourself, do we roast in the country, fly there earlier, roast there, and then have it roasted in the country, or bringing it with the airplane, which always can be a risk, but we took the risk and quite managed it.
Okay.
Yeah. It still got us some sleepless nights, because you start dialing in, trying to find the right recipe, the right brew recipe on the day, because it's whatever you plan, it's mostly different when you arrive. So you need to be flexible, and that costed a lot of adjustments, but at the end we found something that we've been happy with.
Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously you want to check out the country or the city where you fly to, because if you're somewhere, you want to see not just the competition, get the spirit and the whole scenery of a country and a city. And obviously Melbourne is probably one of the best to do to find out how specialty coffee is celebrated in Australia, which is always just amazing to see.
So you have some or a lot of experience in championships. How does the championship management basically work? Do you get information where you have to be, when you have to be there, where the places you have to go, where you can put your equipment, or is that something you have to find out on spot, or is this the experience that comes in handy?
Yeah, experience is always a good thing. The more you have, the easier it gets, and the more flexible are you probably. And we already had whole scheduling from WCE,
Okay.
World Coffee Events, that sends you the whole schedules
Yeah.
for the orientation meeting,
Yeah.
your training slots, your competition time, obviously. And all these schedules are pre-sent, but then still you need to figure out how to travel from your home to the event,
Yeah.
when to be there, and so on.
Yeah.
And then you need to arrange all the pick-up times with your equipment and where to get it. So even for Grinder, we needed to drive from A to C and from C to D and so on. It's like kept us busy, but no, it was good. It could be worse. We experienced it worse, and for that reason, definitely experience is a good thing.
Yeah.
And as always, you need to have a plan and follow the plan,
Yeah.
and then things get pretty organized, which is the most important thing in championships, I guess.
So we see that the championship as the show is like a tiny, tiny part of the whole process. It's probably the tiniest part of all. How did it end up? How did the show go? Are you happy with the performance? Is really happy?
Yeah, I guess that's always a good question. Is she happy? I hope so. She should. She should definitely be, because she performed very well, and it was amazing to see how she went through the process of going on stage, which obviously is for someone like Vivi who's done it the first time, is a huge thing, because you don't know anything, you don't know the process, you kind of have an idea from the national championships, but as soon as you get into the worlds, it's a total different story.
Different level.
It's a different level, a total different story, because everything is way bigger and totally different organized, and it's just very impressive. And I guess for that, it might be sometimes for some competitors overwhelming, but she dealt very well, and we tried to support her at our best possible way. And no, she's done very good. Although she had some issue on stage, but that's probably the thing. If you're a first time competitor, such things just happen.
Yeah.
But it's the most important thing, a learning, I guess. And in my opinion as well, hopefully a point where you say, hey, I've learned something, I want to do better for next time.
Yeah.
And even in sports, you see a lot of people going into their competitions first time and just take an experience, and then they move on into probably I try to be in the top spots next time, which she hopefully will do. And no, we've been very proud of her.
Yeah. Like you said, I think it's an experience thing. When you come on stage first time in Swiss Championship, that's something. Then you go on a World Cup level, that's a different thing, and you have to deal with different stuff, and you need the experience to handle all these different situations. Like you said, it's always something different. It's just tiny details, and with the experience you can handle those stuff a little bit better.
Yeah.
So how do the competition itself change over the years? Can you like make a review how that evolved to where it stands now?
I mean, if we talk Brewers in this case, it did not change so much due to the rules. We had some adjustments regarding how the coffees are scored, but other than that, it did not change too drastically. Like Barista got total different story, but still Brewers is not too much of a change, but the way people are able to brew and the quality of the brews and the type of coffees that competitors use are probably a total different game.
Okay.
Because coffee is that coffee is so important in brewers, the quality, and obviously brewing that particular coffee in a best possible way is just the most important.
Yeah.
And then on top, and for that reason you need a lot of experience, I guess, is to predict and to announce the judges how that coffee on that particular day will taste is key.
Okay. Yeah. So you have some experience in Swiss championships. You have been to the World Championships over the past few years. You put a lot of effort in education, in educating new people, in getting them into coffee, to transfer your knowledge. What's your motivation to still go to these championships? What do you get out of that?
Obviously, one thing is just to work with nice people. Sounds easy, but I mean, it's very much rewarding for myself if I see some people, in this case like Vivi or others that we actually have, that just come from point A and move up to point Z, and it's impressive to see their how they evolve, and that's just something that deeply is somewhere in my heart, that sharing is caring. Sounds a bit cheeky, but it's probably really a mindset that is somewhere deeply in myself that I think is important for the industry or for myself. And on top, we learn, or I learn, even after more than 10 years of competing. There's always learning, because coffee is a never-ending story, I guess, and that's something that really pushes as well my limits and the limits back home then, to get better and better every time, and makes your life as a roaster or a competitor always interesting. And we try to keep pushing the limits, and we love to work with people that are just passionate, humble, and we keep on doing it, I guess.
So how do you find those people? Do they end up come to you and say, Philip, will you be my trainer? I want to start, I have that experience. Or do you go specific to people and say, I want to coach you, let's do this? How does this usually work?
I guess it's a bit of both. It's easier if people step up to you and ask you, would you train me? And then probably would have a chit chat and find out if that is someone that we would love to work with. And in the other hand, sometimes we step up to people that we think are very passionate, and they probably would have something that makes it possible to compete with them, because you need to have that kind of spirit, mindset, and obviously you need to be somehow a stage monster, or someone that loves to going on stage, because that's probably key, and it's something that is way harder to learn. I guess the coffee part, you always can learn that, but going on stage and talk to people is way harder to grow in.
So thank you for the insights for the championship. I guess we see each other next year on the championships.
we definitely will be on the next championships, and hope to see you guys soon. And if you want to know anything regarding championships, don't hesitate and leave us and drop us a message.
Thank you very much.
Bye.